Truckers have rules. Some are written, and some aren't. And one of these unwritten ones is that you never trust a shortcut at night. Roads that save you 30 minutes in daylight can cost you everything once the sun goes down. And I broke that rule. I was running late, behind schedule, and the GPS swore this country road was going to shave half an hour off my route. I'd been driving 14 hours straight. Eyelids were heavy. Coffee wasn't doing much but souring my gut. I told myself 30 minutes was worth it. Told myself the machine knew better than me. Turnoff was easy to miss. Just this sagging sign for a farm-to-market road, half buried in the weeds. The asphalt was cracked, striping long gone. I slowed and swung my rig onto it, watched the highway disappear in my mirrors. Those first few miles? Absolutely fine. Empty, but fine. Fields of corn leaning in like they wanted to listen. Half-lit farmhouses here and there, a rusted barn occasionally. Then the road began to narrow. Asphalt gave way to dirt. My headlights bounced over ruts, dust curling up in the beams. Trees were crowding closer, blotting out the sky. I gripped the wheel tighter, telling myself I'd be back on the main highway soon enough. The GPS still showed that blue line ahead, urging me forward. And that's when I saw the first one. This old Buick, stripped down to its frame, sunk in the ditch with weeds growing through the windows. A mile later, a pickup with no doors, cab peppered with bullet holes. Another mile or two, and there were two SUVs, gutted like fish, resting nose to nose in the trees. Okay, vehicle dumping ground. Rural folks leave junk everywhere. But my throat was dry, and my stomach was telling me this wasn't just junk. These were leftovers. The dirt track dipped off into a hollow, and that's when I saw the first glow. Orange, flickering like a campfire. As I came around the bend, the beams of my headlights caught them. 3 figures standing around a barrel fire in the middle of the road. Shadows stretched long and sharp across the dirt. They didn't scatter like deer. They didn't wave like farmers or hunters. They just stood there, watching, hands at their sides, fire lighting up their faces. They didn't look surprised to see me at all. I downshifted and slowed. One of them stepped forward. He had something long in his hand. Metal caught the firelight. Maybe a crowbar, or maybe a rifle. Hard to tell. My heart started slamming in my chest. The GPS line still said continue straight, but I knew damn well this wasn't a road anymore. This was a trap. I kept the rig crawling, engine primed, headlights washing over the 3 of them like they were part of the road itself. None of them flinched, didn't move either, just stared. One with the metal rod shifted his weight, then lifted it slightly. I finally saw what it was, a length of pipe capped on one end. Not a tool, a weapon. Every instinct screamed at me to swing wide, gun it, blast past him. But the road was too narrow, the ditch was deep, and the trees were pressing in tight. If I tried to swerve, I'd jackknife the trailer, and that would be the end of me. The guy in the middle raised his hand like a cop signaling to stop. My headlights painted his face. He wasn't old, maybe mid-20s. His eyes were flat, greasy, like he wasn't fully there. That kind of stare that tells you he's already decided what's about to happen. I braked slowly, praying this was just some local screwing with me. My hands slipped on the wheel. My palms were sweating, so bad it felt like oil. And that's when the others began to move. From the tree line, more shadows peeled off. 4, maybe 5 of them. They slipped into the ditches and climbed the berms, boots crunching, all moving toward my rig. Trap confirmed. I shifted back up, revving the engine hard. The guy with the pipe stepped closer, right into the glow of my brights. He pointed the pipe at my windshield like he was sighting me in. Then I saw him smirk, and that smirk broke me. I stomped the accelerator. The rig screamed, diesel roaring as I barreled forward. He didn't jump clear. He braced like he was going to stop 40 tons of steel with his own body. I didn't have time to consider his insanity. I watched him vanish underneath my grill, felt the sickening bump of impact rattle through the cab, and then I was past the fire, barrel rolled, sparks spilling across the dirt. But it wasn't over. The figure scrambled on both sides. One leapt at the steps of the cab, hands slapping the metal. Another smashed something against my trailer, sound of breaking glass exploding behind me. The rear marker lights shattered. I kept the pedal buried, the dirt road twisted, my rig bouncing hard, but I didn't lift my foot. Branches clawed at either side of the trailer, snapping like gunfire. The mirror showed chaos behind me, the fire shrinking, shadows darting, somebody running after me, arms pumping like pistons. Then headlights flared up behind me, not just one set, two, maybe three. Engines gunned, tires sprayed dirt, and suddenly I was no longer the hunter. I was the prey. They were in vehicles I didn't see, parked, hidden somewhere deeper in the trees, waiting. The GPS blue line was useless now, frozen, spinning, recalculating. I didn't need it to tell me what I already knew. I had miles of dirt track ahead of me, and a pack behind me.
A Crown Vic from earlier, a batter pickup, and something else, low slung with a screaming engine. They came in fast and reckless, almost like they'd done this chase 100 times before. My trailer fishtailed and mud sprayed. I fought the wheel and felt the back tires bite again. My whole world shrank into a tunnel of my headlights and vibrating wheel in my hands. And then the first shot rang out. Glass exploded on the passenger side, a spider web cracking across the lower pane. My ears rang, and somebody had fired from the pickup, very close now. Headlights blinding in my mirror. I ducked low, keeping one hand on the wheel, and jerked the rig left, then right. The trailer rocked. Tires screamed. One of them overcommitted. I think. The Crown Vic clipped the ditch and flipped. Sparks and steel tumbling in my rear view. But the others continued coming. Another shot closer. A hole punched through the passenger mirror. Now the glass raining down in shards. I swore loudly, shifted down, then redlined the engine. The road then suddenly opened up into this wide stretch. Fields on either side. No trees. Moonlight turned the dirt silver. Then I spotted a sign half buried in the weeds. County road ends, bridge out. My stomach dropped. I couldn't stop, not with them behind me. The bridge was nothing more than this rotted span across a shallow creek. I saw it in the last second. Half the planks were gone. Support beam sagging, but it was too late. I hit it doing 50. My trailer shuddered, which splintered like bone. And for a second I was airborne, stomach in my throat. And then the front tire slammed the dirt on the other side. Metal screamed, sparks lit up, but somehow, by some miracle, the trailer didn't shear off. Behind me, that pickup wasn't so lucky. It hit the gap far too slow. When the front end cleared, but the back axle snapped, dragging it down nose first into that creek bed. One engine still screamed. The low-slung car had made it across, fishtailing wildly. Still chasing headlights swerved, drawing closer and closer until it pulled up alongside me. I saw the driver now close enough to smell oil and cigarettes through that busted-out window. His face was painted with something, black streaks under his eyes like war paint. He was screaming something that I couldn't hear, and it sounded like some kind of cry. Then he jerked his wheel toward me. Metal slammed metal. My cab rattled, and I fought the wheel and pushed back. The two of us locked in this deadly dance at 50 miles an hour. He tried again, slamming into me. Only this time I was ready. I jerked left, forcing him into the ditch. His headlights veered, his car tipped, then he was gone. rolling and flipping, steel shrieking as it tore itself apart. Silence only followed me now. Only my engine was the only thing making noise. I get the pedal down hard, still jackhammering, hands shaking so bad I could still even grip the wheel. Then the GPS chimed in, calm as anything, rejoining highway in 2 miles. I almost laughed. Almost 2 miles. Never felt so far in my life. And that dirt track bucked under my tires, each threatening to snap an axle. Every single shadow out in those fields twitching like it wanted to step out onto the road. My ears were ringing from the gunshots, and my hands were now welded to that wheel. I continued checking the mirrors, waiting to see more headlights reappear, waiting for another engine to scream up behind me. But there was nothing, just black fields and broken fences. Under the moonlight, the GPS purred like it hadn't just tried to feed me to the wolves. In 1 mile turn left, when I saw the highway again glowing faint under the moonlight, I could have cried. Pavement, civilization, lifeline. I hit the turn so fast my tires were squealing, trailer tipping dangerously before it slammed back down. I shot back onto the interstate like I'd been launched from a cannon. 60, 70, 80, I didn't care. I'm not stopping. But adrenaline really will only last for so long. After 10 minutes of white-knuckle driving, I eased back, checked my gauges, and listened for anything wrong with my rig. The grill was bent. One mirror was gone and the marker lights were busted. But she was still running, still alive, unlike them. I pulled into a truck stop 45 minutes later. Lights bright, pumps humming, people inside, real people. I parked crooked and staggered out of my cab, went straight to the bathroom to splash some cold water on my face. The reflection that looked back at me was pale eyes, wide, pupils like pinholes. My shirt was completely soaked in sweat. I didn't call the cops, didn't even tell another driver. What would I really say? That a gang in the middle woods tried to hunt me down on a dirt road that my GPS told me to take? That I ran a man down with 40 tons of steel just to make out alive? I really doubt that anybody would believe me. And even if they did, out here in the middle of nowhere, it wouldn't really matter. I got back in my rig and still gently shaking, and I made a promise to myself, never again, never trust the blue line. Never take a road that you don't know. But occasionally, late at night when the interstate goes empty and the CB chatter dies out, I still will think about that shortcut, about those stripped cars rusting in ditches, the barrel fire lighting up the trees, and that smirk on that kid's face before I hit him.